Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is December 13th, 2017, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the economic events of the day, we start out at 11:30 South African time, UK average index number coming out. Okay, it's an important number. Just be aware that it is coming out. And then at 3:30 South African time, core CPI number coming out of the United States. Now, these two numbers are important. We don't expect any surprises, and they're usually factored in. But if there are any surprises, you know that they're there. So just be aware of it, that these numbers are coming out. And then 5:30 South African time, weekly oil inventories coming out. We'll take a look at oil. And then the most important part of the day, starting out at 9 o'clock, FOMC rate statement. And that's a federal rate decision coming out of the FOMC. That's a really important number that's coming out, usually factored in as well. However, it's really good to know that it's coming out, number one, especially if there are any surprises. And number two, more importantly, at 9:30 following the rate decision is a press conference for the FOMC, which usually clues us into future decisions or to their decision, their current decision, or how the Fed can actually manipulate some of the money supply in the markets from other means. So that's really important to just be aware of it. Many traders look for clues, for nuances, and words even for some directional move. But let's look at the markets and see what's been happening. So we're taking a look here at the Euro USD and bouncing since our low of 1720 earlier in the week to 1752. Not big move here, but it is a Fed rate decision week. So take that into consideration. So and nothing really giving me some sort of indication that we're by some sort of threshold that would look to actually buy or sell. We're really, in somewhat of no man's land between support and resistance from our anchors. So ultimately, I wouldn't go into this specific number with any positions, especially since we are a little bit, just between two extremities, one on the upper side of 1820.18 and one on the lower side at 1690. However, there could be some reactionary move or fading the market, as we call it, where you have one extreme move in one direction, either up or down, and then you have a correctional move subsequent to that. And that might really could actually happen today, seeing that we're not going into any specific position. We're not really in any specific position in terms of somewhat of a support or somewhat of a resistance, that we're having some sort of pivot move in the market. Looking at the GBP USD, same thing. We're pretty much flatlined at this 133, coming in from 135-ish level. And it's closer to our support level, which I like this a little bit better. So this, if it does break this support level, okay, at 133, we could definitely see it going further down to 132. Now, that's on the larger scale of things. But if it does sustain the support here, maybe we could have a correctional move and make our way back somewhere into this 134-ish level. So keep an eye on that as that resolves itself later today. Looking at oil trading at 57.55. And we're pretty much just finding ourselves in a new range, okay? The upper range at 58-ish, 59-ish level, okay? And the lower range at 55.95. So we're really smack in the middle of that, okay, like I've mentioned, and we're between our two averages here. So it's a little bit hard to say which direction we're going to go today. But keep in mind that we are still in the heart of the winter season. There's a lot of demand. There's a lot of, things going on in the markets, so we want to be aware of the number coming out later today. Now let's take a look at the Dow Jones. All-time highs yesterday. Okay, I sound like a broken record. Over the past 6-7 months we've been saying this, all-time highs, and sure enough, we made all-time highs yesterday, 24,559. Okay, I'm breaking that upper limit. Now we're at 24,532. Now the markets are really vibrant. The markets are really strong. The Fed might want to look to, curtail some of the massive growth that we are experiencing with the new president and some of the new regulations that we have in the United States. So take that into consideration coming into the markets. The Fed really doesn't like too much growth or too much of non-growth. Okay, so either in a massive exploding market, it's very scary for the Fed, and also in a massive depression, it's very scary. So keep that in mind later today, as these numbers might be curtailed, but we might see ourselves still going into maybe, I don't want to say it, 25,000 before the end of the year. Let's see. Okay, got to keep that on that perspective. Looking at the JSC, still not bouncing from our breakdown from this 52,200-ish level. We're trading at 51,586, okay? Showing some relative weakness here as the markets are solidifying in some of the other equity markets, but the JSC is not. Looking at the DAX, for example, we're holding our line. We're not selling off, but we're not either going up, but we're holding our line at 13,169. I would rather see this continue trending upwards, and that would make me feel a lot better about myself, especially looking to buy the Dow Jones. That the consensus are internationally that the equities markets are strong, but that's not the case here. Okay, so this is raising a really red flag for me, where I'm not really sure how the DAX is going to react after the new year. So keep an eye on this later today. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.